So, for our latest explainer, I want to talk a bit about power structures in the United States. It's really interesting because if you start looking into government, and I love actually how government works when it actually does work. I had an incredible government teacher in high school, was running for state assembly, and he got me interested in the whole system. And it was really his take on, his name was Art Lepore, and his take on the government system was enough to make you want to really look into it. So, power structures. So government's this whole other thing. Go learn what you can about that. But power in the United States is based on some interesting stuff. So let me start with the capitalist system. I've been a freelancer for several decades, and I could break it down into something really simple. And mostly because as a freelancer, I was always outside looking in, and I worked in so many different industries because I just loved running in there, fixing what I had to do and get out without letting the politics or the culture of the place really get to me. But I saw some great systems, I saw some great culture, and then I saw power issues. But in capitalism, the way you get that to work is you convince whoever makes decisions that you're going to make them a lot of money. That's it. And then go make them a lot of money. And if you're a graphic designer that knows how to actually hit an audience and get them to pay attention and respond, you can make them a lot of money. It's a thing. If you're a graphic designer that's just doing logos or what you like, it's not going to work as well. So, in fact, that is the basis, believe it or not, for Fox News. They tell their audience what they want to hear. Their numbers go up. Very successful. So, I'm in Sacramento, where the power systems are a little bit different. We have a couple of things going on here. One is Sacramento is the highest group, the highest number of nonprofits that exist within the country. And you can look that up and see if I'm right on that, but someone I know who's doing the research told me that. And with the highest number of nonprofits, which nonprofits are doing things to help different parts of the population. It's a great thing to go after, but what happened was the person I knew who was doing the research, who had very specific skills, found that they could not get hired for those skills. Other things were going on. And when I moved here, I just kind of ran into that approach. And what is it? Well, there are power structures that exist, and they're on full display in nonprofits. But I'll go to the other power thing that I've noticed, which is public schools, public government, the whole public sector is a whole different power structure. And I had a speaker once who was really good at this, who came and gave a talk that I put together. And I remember the outcome of the talk was, if you put people in a situation where they're not happy with what they're doing and they're answering to a boss who's playing power games, they're going to play power games with everyone else, with who they can play. And I've really seen that since I've been here. It's like people with titles are up here, and the hierarchy does exist. And then you have the mid-range, and then you have the workers. And the class system that you hear about, especially from, say, England, is it's here, but it's different. And it's all based on power. And I'm not just putting that in small sound bites for the three I just mentioned, which is essentially the public sector, nonprofit, and then capitalists. The power structures exist in all of them. They're just different, and everyone works within the system. If you're in the United States, you're somewhere on the totem pole. I'm using the marquee as the signage is that. So where do you fit into this system? Well, if you think about it, and this is where I start using the word that gets everyone pissed off. We got freedom in the United States. We talk about our freedoms and we get really weird about our freedoms and we're free. But most of us, unless you're like super rich and you're at the top, what the T is, are basically in a power struggle in some sort of fascist system. And that's the word that gets everyone pissed off. But really think about it. Who can you not criticize in your life? And what's that all about? So that's usually the thing where, okay, we'll have a call to action, but capitalists are in it for making money plus the power thing. The nonprofits are helping people, but there's a power thing involved. Public sector, a lot of different power things in there, and I've been a teacher for a couple of decades, and I'm not sure I understand the system entirely yet, because my fallback on teaching is usually the question, how does that help students? Or I am here to help students learn. And that's sort of where I'm coming from. So there'll be a lot. I remember one person said to me, I can't believe the stuff that you have to deal with as a teacher. And it comes from above, from different sources. It actually comes from below, too. Once some of the classified workers realized that they could say anything they want to teachers and get away with it. So there's all these games we're playing with each other. And you know what? In a utopian world, in a wonderful little place, it shouldn't happen. Does that make me a communist? No, because communists abuse power too. There's another system for you. They really abuse power. So back to the government thing, I do believe in checks and balances. I think we need checks and balances everywhere. But you always see like the checks and balances being moved around. That all said, there's something that inspires me in these systems that we all have to work in, and it's something that Quentin Tarantino does. And you could do a whole psychological makeup on him if you want. And the thing he does is, if you've ever been on a movie set or working in the environment, it's not just actors, it's not just directors, there's a whole crew that has to work on stuff. And they get bored. And also, if they're union, they're protected. So do they have to do a good job? No, whatever. So he does this thing where he asks everyone to remind themselves why they're in the film industry. And he gets them to literally say, because we love making movies. So think about your job. Is the mission statement of the company you're working for reason enough for you to be there? If not, is somewhere else even better? But if you love what you're doing and you enjoy it, like I love teaching, maybe the other stuff's not going to get on you as much. And maybe the person who hates their job could be reminded why they have it and that they really do enjoy it. Rose-colored glasses, but little stuff to ponder.